Hello everyone, welcome back to your own history learning channel, Our Past by Priya Jha. Well, in today's video, we are going to learn about the sources for the history of modern India, and this is part 2 of the video. In part 1, we had covered the archival materials which are important source when we wish to learn about the modern Indian history. In that topic or in that video, we learned about the central government archives and state government archives, then private archives, published archives, and so on. And in this video, we will learn about the biographies, memoirs, and travel accounts, the newspapers and journals, and oral evidence, then creative literature and paintings. So we will discuss everything one by one, and I would like to make a request here to watch both the videos. I will provide you the link of part 1 in the description box, and when you will watch both the videos sincerely, you will learn the topic clearly. So let's continue. Well, friends, let's first take into consideration biographies, memoirs, and travel accounts. Now, what are these things? Let's see. Well, travelers, traders, missionaries, and civil servants have left accounts of their experiences and their impressions of various parts of India. So, when they visited the place, some of them were travelers, some of them came with a purpose, some of them served the British government. So they have written their experiences. These contained important group of missionaries who wrote to encourage their respective societies to send more missionaries to India for the purpose of converting its inhabitants, that is conversion in Christianity. Then Bishop Heber's General, then Abbe Dubois's Hindu manners and customs. So these are some of the examples which provide useful information on the socio-economic life of India during the period of decline of the Indian powers and the rise of the British. So why these travel accounts are important? Because they are the first-hand experiences or the very own views of the writers. So they give us idea about the socio-economic or political or cultural cultural things when we talk about a society. Now, famous British travelers included George Foster, Benjamin Hine, James Burnes, whose narrative of a visit to the court of Sindh, and then Alexander Burnes travels into Bokhara, then C.J.C. Davidson, Son's Diary of the Travels and Adventures in Upper India, and John Butler's Travels and Adventures in the province of Assam, etc. are some of the popular written materials. And then when we talk about the non-British travelers or writers, we can consider Victor Jackmon, then Baron Charles travels in Kashmir and the Punjab, and the writings by William Moorcroft are also very important. So these are good sources when we wish to learn about the history of that time. Now next comes travel accounts are reliable sources for constructing the history of modern India as they supplement the official papers. Few things and many things are not clear by depending only upon the official papers. So these play a role of important supplementary materials of history. Now, next comes newspapers and journals. Now, the importance of newspapers and journals have always been of great relevance even in today's time. How they are important, we can see on screen a picture of Kesari, the editor of whose was Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Now, what were the roles that newspapers and journals played? Friends, in 19th and 20th century, newspapers and journals published in English and different vernacular languages. First attempts were made by the disgruntled employees of the East India Company who sought to expose the malpractices of private trade. So, the first attempt to introduce this thing were by employees of the East India Company. In the year 1780, James Augustus Hickey published the first newspaper in India entitled the Bengal Gazette or Calcutta General Advertiser. So, here it is important to learn the first published newspaper in India was the Bengal Gazette or Calcutta General Advertiser. It was by James Augustus Hickey. From the second half of the 19th century, many powerful newspapers appeared. They got edited, published by distinguished and fearless journalists who brought into the real situations of those times when the national movements or everything was going on. And one third of the founding fathers of the Indian National Congress in the year 1885 were journalists. So here we can see the how important the newspapers and the journals were at that time, because they not only created awareness among the citizens but also tried to present the real situations or the real effects or on their lives of the colonial rule. This is a single point, but the things done, effects of the newspapers or journals were much larger than these. Some of the examples here are the Hindu and the Swadesh Mitran by G. Subramanya Iyer, then Kesari and Maratha by Bal Gangadhar Tilak, then Bengali by Surendranath Banerjee, and Indian nationalists and revolutionaries living abroad also published newspapers and journals which included Indian sociologist. It was published in London by Shyamji Krishnavarma, then Bande Matram, which was published in Paris by Madame Kama to infuse a feeling of Indians living abroad. So, to infuse a feeling of nationalism in Indians living abroad, and in order to unite all the Indian citizens living in India itself, was done to a great extent by the newspapers and journals at those times. Now, friends, next come the oral evidence. So far we have discussed about the biographies, then memoirs and newspapers. Now next are the oral evidences. What are oral evidences? They help in construction of history with the help of non-written sources. Then they also allow historians to broaden the boundaries of their discipline and corroborate their findings from other sources of history. So, when we are creating history, or the historians who research in this field cannot be dependent on single source or limited or few sources to find history or to find about the real circumstances or to go to the real things in the past, real things that occurred in the past. We cannot limit ourselves to using few resources. So oral evidence also support the findings by the historians, and they are also good sources when we talk about the sources of learning the history of modern Indian times. Now let's move ahead. Next come the creative literature. Well, these are this one, the particular one, creative literature, is a very important and unique source in itself. Novels emerged in the later half of the 19th century, and the introduction of novels or their emergence was the result of the Indian and European relations of those times. Famous novels included Anandamath in the year 1882 and Raj Simha. These were written by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, very famous writer and great personality, great Indian personality. He wrote Anandamath and Raj Simha Anandamath, whose lyrics were Vande Mataram, the national song of the country in these days. Then Icharam Sureram Desai, who was a Gujarati novelist, he wrote Hind Ane Britannia. Then Girja Devi wrote Mohana Rajni in the year 1931. And then South Indian writers were also there. One of the example of which is Ram Tirthamal, who wrote Dasikhalin Mosavalai. So these are famous writings. And now what are the use of these novels? These novels are very important because they provide us real picture of the socio-economic or the political or the cultural or the religional, educational and various other aspects of the society during those times. So the novels are very important sources when we talk about the sources of learning history in modern times. Now friends, next come paintings. Well, these are the last sources which we are discussing today. Paintings are also good source which tell us about the socio-economic, political as well as cultural life. Then the company paintings, also known as Patna Kalam, they emerged under the patronage of the East India Company, and the paintings told us about the trades, the festivals, the dances and attire of the people who have been picturized in the paintings. So from paintings we can very beautifully and very quickly learn about the things, the various aspects of the society of a particular time. Then after these paintings were very popular till photography was introduced in the country, and it was introduced in the year 1840. Then in the last decades of the 19th century, a new art movement emerged which received its stimulus from the growing nationalism in the country. So, the main representatives of this new art movement were Nandalal Bose and Raja Ravi Verma. So, I am going to show you now some paintings which are taken from those times. Here you can see Kali, goddess Kali, and then our king or a raja on the horse. And then here you can see a painting which describes the reason of the Indian outbreak, where General Miles declares that the Indians are starved into rebellion. So these paintings are a very unique kind of source which are very helpful when we want to learn about the history of modern India. So friends, in today's video we learned about many other sources despite of archival materials which are the papers used by the government or official orders or used by the administration at a particular time. And then today we discussed about the various sources like biographies, then travel accounts, memoirs, then paintings, oral evidence, then novels and so on. So I hope you liked today's video, and if you please give this video a big like, comment below if you want me to make video on any topic related to Indian history. Share the video with all the learners who find history a boring subject, and please subscribe to the channel for more such videos.